Let's take a look at some of the great new features in Kahuna software version 9.1. These can help speed up your creation of macros, creation of DMEMs, making it faster and faster in the busier productions we have today. First, we're going to have a look in the macro area. If I click on the macro, I'm just going to load this GV wipe I have here. Now when I come to the macro editor, I can see the lines of the macro that I had. Now if I want to edit this, so this first thing is just turning key 1 on ME1 on. If I want to edit the delegation, this is our new button here to edit delegates, I can now either change the ME, I can change the key, which I want to change it to. If I want to go to ME2, key 2, I hit apply, and now that will update that line of the macro. If I want to do the same to maybe another line of the macro, I can come in here and I'm going to say ME2, key 2. Press apply. If I also want to change the ME transition, which one that's happening on, I can go to ME1 and change it to ME2 and press apply. I've now made an identical macro, but this one is now happening on ME2 using key 2, and I can now go and save that just as I would normally do as a different macro. This feature again in the macro area allows us to create and put macros and control macros, create action button in the macro editor. So if we click on here and we go to miscellaneous, we can talk on macro action, and this gives us the ability to run a macro within a macro. We can stop a macro, or we can stop all other macros apart from the macro we're running here. So this is a great feature to be able to add macros inside macros, have multiple macros running at the same time, which some other switches just can't do. So it's very easy. You select which macro you want to put inside it. So any macros you have here, you can select a macro, and then you can choose to insert it after your current line in the macro, or you can replace a line as well. Simply insert it there, and there we have macro entry number 2 has been inserted inside our macro. The next new feature we have in the software is located when we go to the Save menu. So if we're looking at saving DMEMs, we now have a new button over here which just says all. This is a really quick, easy way to turn all the enables on or off as required. So if you just want to save a single function, you can turn all of them off, maybe go to the parameter you want, and then turn that on individually as you need to. Again, click the all button if you want all the parameters of that keyer to be activated when you save your DMEM. Another new feature we've added in this software is the ability to have preset effects dissolves. So this saves you time when creating a different effects dissolve for each of your functions. Now we have the ability to do presets. When we select presets, when we save our DMEM, we can save one of the 8 pre-set up effects dissolves. Each of these are fully customizable by clicking on them and changing the parameters within each of the effects dissolves. So now, nice and easy, if I want to send the same effects dissolve onto multiple effects, they're all going to be identical. So you can select your preset over here, select one of the 8 predefined presets. If you need to modify them, simply click the preset button here. The presets are saved inside the user config. So you can solve these and transfer them for other applications just as you would do any other configuration file. This next new feature is a really handy button which saves me a lot of time when I'm trying to work out what a macro is that's attached to a button. So on the main screen along by the macro record button, we have the locate button. With this locate button, if I click this, I can now push any button on the panel and it will pop up and it will show me the information without me having to go through the panel config to find this. I can see that attached to this button is the macro that's in project number 2, file number 22. So this makes it nice and easy that I can now go and edit that macro. I can also have the option if I need to detach it from this menu also. While we're talking about attaching and detaching macros, another feature in the macro menu when we go to assign is we now have the option to latching detach, which makes it very quick and easy to detach multiple macros. Just leave this latched on and hit every button you want to remove a macro on. And we also have a latching attach button as well, which means I can select the macro, hit a button, select the macro, hit a button. Make it much faster to attach multiple macros to your panel.